The Westfield Watcher is a modern-day tale of unsettling paranoia and mysterious threats that gripped a suburban community in Westfield, New Jersey. In 2014, a family purchased a charming turn-of-the-century home, envisioning a tranquil life. However, their dreams quickly transformed into a nightmare as they became the targets of an enigmatic and chilling antagonist known only as the Watcher. Shortly after moving in, the family began receiving a series of ominous and threatening letters from the Watcher. The letters were disturbingly personal, referencing the family's daily activities, routines, and even the children's names. The Watcher claimed to be observing the home constantly, leaving the family in a state of perpetual fear and vulnerability. The letters contained unsettling statements such as, "I am the Watcher, and my watch begins when you move in," and "Have they found out what's in the walls yet?" These cryptic messages hinted at an intimate knowledge of the home's history and layout, sending shivers down the family's spines. Despite involving local law enforcement, the origin of the letters and the identity of the Watcher remained elusive. The family attempted to sell the house and escape the clutches of their tormentor, but potential buyers were frightened away by the haunting reputation that the Watcher had bestowed upon the property. The Westfield Watcher's sinister presence not only shattered the family's sense of security, but also cast a dark shadow over the entire community. Residents were left to grapple with their own fears and uncertainties, questioning whether the Watcher's reach extended beyond this one particular family. The case garnered widespread media attention, drawing comparisons to real-life horror stories and fictional tales of malevolent entities. It underscored the power of anonymity and psychological manipulation in an age of advanced communication. As of my last knowledge update in September 2021, the Westfield Watcher's true identity remains a mystery. The case serves as a modern cautionary tale, revealing the ways in which modern technology can be harnessed to perpetrate fear and unease. Whether the Watcher was a real threat or a twisted hoax, the impact of their actions on the family and the community cannot be denied. A chilling reminder that even in a world driven by technology, the darkness of the unknown can still cast its shadow. In the frigid winter of 1959, a group of experienced hikers embarked on a fateful expedition into the Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia. Led by Igor Dyatlov, a radio engineering student, the group was eager to conquer the challenging terrain and reach the lofty peak of Otorten Mountain. Little did they know, their journey would lead to one of the most enduring and perplexing mysteries in modern history, the Dyatlov Pass incident. As the group of 9 hikers set up camp on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, they were met with biting winds and sub-zero temperatures. However, their spirits remained high, and they documented their journey in diaries and photographs. The last entry, made on February 1st, indicated their intention to push forward and reach the summit despite worsening weather conditions. Several weeks later, the group had failed to return as planned. Concerned friends and family prompted a search operation. On February 26th, the search team discovered their abandoned campsite, which held unsettling clues. The tent was found torn open from the inside, and the hikers' belongings, including warm clothing and shoes, were left behind. Footprints led away from the tent and toward the forest, as if in a panicked escape. Following the footprints, the search party made a chilling discovery. The first 2 bodies, those of Yuri Doroshenko and Georgy Krivonishenko, were found by a tree. Both were barefoot and dressed in only underwear, suggesting a desperate flight from the tent. Their injuries were gruesome, fractured skulls and other traumatic wounds, as though they had been subjected to a high-force impact. As the search continued, the bodies of the other hikers were located, each revealing a macabre scene. Rustem Slobodin and Zenaida Kolmogorova were found with similar head injuries. Lyudmila Dubinina and Nikolai Thibault Brignol had suffered internal injuries, as if crushed. The final 4 hikers, Dyatlov himself, Alexander Kolevatov, Yuri Krivonishenko, and Semyon Zolotaryov, were discovered months later buried under several meters of snow in a makeshift den, their cause of death similarly perplexing. The circumstances surrounding the Dyatlov Pass incident have spawned countless theories, ranging from natural disasters to government conspiracy. Some attribute the deaths to an avalanche, despite the absence of such evidence. Others suggest an encounter with local indigenous people, wildlife attacks, or even military testing gone awry. Decades later, The Dyatlov Pass incident continues to captivate the imaginations of investigators, armchair sleuths, and conspiracy theorists. Despite extensive inquiries, including recent exhumations for further examination, the true cause of the hikers' deaths remains elusive. The remote and haunting landscape of the Ural Mountains holds its secrets, leaving behind a tragic enigma that endures as one of the most chilling and baffling mysteries in history. In the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, a gruesome and haunting crime unfolded in the summer of 1912, the Villisca Ax Murders. The Moore family, consisting of Josiah and Sarah Moore and their 4 children, along with 2 young house guests, were brutally murdered in their sleep, shocking the community and leaving a lasting scar on the town's history. On the morning of June 10th, a neighbor entered the Moore residence, discovering a scene of unimaginable horror. The victims' bodies were found bludgeoned with an axe, their faces covered by pieces of cloth. The brutality of the crime suggested a deep-seated rage and a meticulously planned attack. Law enforcement was ill-equipped to handle such a complex investigation, and the crime scene was compromised by curious onlookers. Despite a massive manhunt and a series of interrogations, the identity of the murderer remained elusive. Suspects ranged from local troublemakers to transient workers, but none were definitively linked to the crime. The Villisca Ax murders cast a long shadow over the town, leaving residents in a state of fear and paranoia. Doors and windows were locked, and families began sleeping with weapons nearby. Rumors of ghostly apparitions and supernatural occurrences began to circulate, fueled by the lack of resolution in the case. Over the years, the Moore house gained a reputation as a haunted site, attracting thrill-seekers and paranormal investigators. Despite changes in ownership and attempts to move on, the house's tragic history continued to define it. In recent years, efforts have been made to shed light on the case once more. A documentary titled Villisca, Living with a Mystery, explored the crime, offering new perspectives and theories. The house itself has been restored to its 1912 condition and serves as a museum and memorial to the victims. Despite advancements in forensic science and modern investigative techniques, the Villisca Ax murders remain unsolved. The mystery endures as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human heart and the enduring impact of violence on a community. The victims of that fateful night in Villisca, whose lives were tragically cut short, continue to be remembered as a sobering testament to the unresolved questions that history sometimes leaves in its wake.